Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Freeze coming at you with another video. And today I want to talk a little bit about one of the most popular strategies in the game, and that's going to be the sack strategy. And so, recently I got in the war with one of the top 10 war alliances in Transformers Earth Wars. And so I just want to break down how you can effectively use the sack strategy at the top level in the Prime League hard mode. So stay put real quick. Let me get set up and I will be right back. Alright, everybody. So this is what I'm looking at, and so I want to start off with a graphic of just showing some base design. As you can see, I took this screenshot from a replay, and this is the team build that I typically use. So I'm gonna have start off my sack in this particular case with Ramjet. Now, when I was looking through some of I always scout the base first, but one of the things that I always do is I try to check some of the replays of the other players if I'm not the first person to attempt the base. And so what I saw was, oops, that's the wrong one. What I saw was this mine placement. And so a couple of things that I like to consider. First off, when I see this kind of layout, I'm going to automatically assume that I'm going to be up against 4 motion sensing mines. Those mines were designed specifically to stop the sack strategy. And what I also notice here, and the reason why I chose Ramjet, is there's a little bit of a gap there. Typically, you'll see players put them in a similar position to this, but for my liking, they're a little bit too far apart. So here it becomes really important to understand the ranges of your defenses, in this case, the range of the motion sensing mine. And so what I'm seeing here is there's a little bit of a gap there that I should be able to shoot through with Ramjet. So let's go ahead and take a look at the replay and see how that goes. Alright, so right there he's going to deploy, and I'm going to deploy him right in that gap where I don't touch any of the motion sensing mines. And for me, when I see outpost, and particularly a combiner outpost in the back like that, I'm expecting Computron to come out. And so that was the case here. I'm always going to try to go for the back outpost. That's going to make that my priority. And with Ramjet's range, I'm able to find something to latch on to and just make that first jump and then make that second jump. And I actually go and wind up getting Chromia to pop out on the other side. And so knowing that those 2 mines are there, I'm going to sweep my team across that left side so both of those trigger. And then I'm going to start working my combiner. In this case, I got Overlord out there. And with Overlord, I actually like to try to use the glass gas ball to try to either attack spider mines or build bots. In this case, I missed the build bot. I accidentally misclicked. And so then I'm going to go ahead and run his reflective ability. Let's see what I can wear down, if I can wear down any of the defenses, and use the outer space storm to try to stun the bots and add some damage, and also go after another one of the build bots. In this particular case, it's a zone heal, so it doesn't go down, so that's a mistake on my part. But right away, what I do is I take out the force field disruptor power core. That's going to allow me to drop down some cutthroat smoke. And one thing I've really been advocating for is my hook has the Nexus Prime core, which allows me to quickly take down Computron and start advancing my way up the field. Now, another mistake that I make here is I allow my team to split a little bit. One reason that I like to use Astro Train on my team is so that I can allow him to kind of help out. He's my Cronus core carrier, and so he can kind of come out, give some assistance to the bots down there on the bottom. But my heavies, Impactor, Soundwave, are more than capable of taking care of the job up there at the top half by themselves. So the split doesn't bother me quite as badly. as it could have. And so, yeah, so it winds up taking care of the job, wind up getting everything done, and that got me through B1 on this particular base. All right, so now I'm gonna move on to what I see on the next base. Well, I skipped through. I only looked at 3 on this particular video, but I wound up pulling the 300 on this particular wall. So this is what I was looking at on base 4. So um, I'm anticipating kind of a similar setup in terms of mine placement, and honestly, that's not exactly what I got. But I'm also looking at, with this being a front-loaded base, I'm looking at the possibility of the Flame War-Sac. As you can see, I swapped Flame War out. Same team otherwise, but I put Flame War in here just so I can try to get all 4 of those outposts and the combiner outpost activated. So let's take a look at that on the replay as well. Now when I see the walls up there in the front push back like that a little bit off the edge, you can kind of anticipate that it's going to be a mine there. To overcome that with Flame War, all you got to do is drop her back a little bit further on the pad and make sure that you activate the ability before you get to the motion sensing mine. Once again, I bring my team in to kind of go for the sweep so I can get the other motion sensing mine. I was anticipating one being on the corner there. I managed to not trigger that particular motion sensing mine on that right hand corner, which is going to come back to bite me in the butt a little bit later on. But for right now, go ahead and drop my combiner, or drop Overlord in this case, and kind of go through the same tactic that I went through that first time. Like I said, I didn't trip that motion sensing mine, honestly, because it's right there next to the wall. I didn't expect it to be that far out, and so Impactor gets in a little bit of trouble there. But at the same time, I've still got my whole team providing support, trying to go make sure that it gets Computron down. With it being front loaded, I didn't clear out the spider mines as well as I did the first time, and so the spider mines are taking effect in addition to the mortars, in addition to the auto cannons. So I'm taking probably a little bit more damage than I should be taking, but once again, Nexus Prime Core kicks in, helps my team get down that combiner faster, and then from a path and aspect, it's able to just kind of just work its way towards the HQ. So in this particular case, knowing that I've got Crater Make on 3 bots, it's going to shoot over a lot of these walls that we would have that would normally be an obstacle. And here I'm taking a little bit more damage than I want to off of the laser MDS, so I take it out with Triptychon. That's going to leave a little bit of vulnerability there because my Titan is actually going to wind up getting defeated, I believe, in this particular case. But because I got through the base with at a decent rate of speed, it doesn't become as much of a factor. I've still got both of my healers, and I've got most of my team. I lost Impactor, and my Sac bot and Flame War, but really that's about it. And I'm a little bit low on ability points here because normally at this point, this is where I would try to one-shot kill the shield generator and just kind of make that happen a little bit faster. But in this case, I've got the majority of my team left, so eventually they're just going to bring it down. All right, so now going over there to the commander base. And so this is what this looks like. So in this particular case, when I was scouting this, what I saw, actually, let me go pull the mines up real quick. And this is what I saw in terms of mines. So it's a little bit asymmetrical, but one of the things that I was really looking at here is kind of that same thing I was talking about. Those mines are typically going to be on those outside or certain spots up there. You can see them around that second tick mark down there on the layout. And then to try to keep me from running the sack up the middle, because a lot of times what will happen is you'll see those first 2 mines right there at the landing pad, and then because they're so far out, a lot of times that leaves vulnerability up the middle. But they covered that a little bit also by sticking one in the middle at the bottom and the top. So what I saw here, and it kind of sucks because I didn't end up having an accurate replay. But what I saw here was an opportunity, and I'm gonna go back to the layout for a second. Up here off the right hand side, and so what I ended up doing was coming up that right hand side to go to the mortar just above that right hand outpost, and then straight up. And once again, that ended up being one of those times where Computron's up there at the top. So like I said, I always try to go for the very top first. But like I said, the replay was inaccurate. But as you can see here, I wound up taking the 300 on that victory. So overall, I really like the sack strategy. I think it's one of the more effective methods in the game. It just really depends on what the outposts look like. A lot of times people will use runabout just to get around the motion sensing mines. I only got the 3-star. The 3-star you actually can use in Prime League effectively, but I got to level mines first. But at the same time, I don't like to use up as many ability points as I do with Ramjet. A lot of times I can use that fire attack on his special ability to try to bring down a lot of the build bots and a lot of the spider mines if the situation allows for it without me getting trapped by the motion sensing mines. But a lot of times, just because I use the Vector Prime Core, sometimes I'll just let them eat the mine, or like you can see with my team, I'll let my team actually go in there and eat the mine before I wind up running my combiner, just to kind of nullify that motion sensing mine ability. But anyway, thank you guys for watching my video. What are some of your favorite sack strategies and sack bots? Feel free to write that down in the comments, or you can go to my Discord if you're already a member. I'll leave a link for that in the description of this video. And as always, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. All right, I'll see you guys again. Should be making another video on Wednesday. Might have to push it back a day because hopefully I can talk about the new combat bot this week. But other than that, I'll see you guys out there on the battlefield. Freezius out.